What is up guys, Drakon here, bringing you guys a quick guide on how to anti-cancel using a macro. In this guide I'll be using a destroyer, but you can always do this with any other class such as a summoner, kung fu master, assassin, so forth. Now first off I'm going to show you guys what skills you will need in order to anti-cancel on a destroyer. Now we will need to go into our skill tree and put 4 points into cleave, our right mouse button on the destroyer. We want to go for the tier 4 stage 3. This will make you do more damage. It will also consume 20 focus on consecutive use instead of 30. It'll absorb 10% of damage as HP. It will give you a maximum boost so you can use it a lot faster. This will also stack a bleed, and it will recover 10 focus on every critical hit. You can also put 4 points in left mouse button into the judgment skill, but this is only for PvE. If you're doing PvP, you would rather put it in somewhere else. It's not that necessary, but you want to go right down 4 points right down the left tree. Now what this will give you is it will recover 10% of your focus on hit. It will recover 5 additional focus for each target hit, 10% crit rate on next skill when hit during use, and increases your critical hit effect for 3 seconds. Now that you guys put those 4 points in, I'm going to show you guys how to actually anti-cancel. Anti-canceling is by pressing the left mouse button and then right mouse button, canceling each other. So by pressing those two with a little bit of time in between, you can cancel the animation by doing the same damage. So it looks something like this. But a lot of people get tired and or prefer to use a macro instead of PvE just because it's easier to use. Now the first thing you guys are going to need to macro is a program called Autohotkey. There's a download link in the description below. Go ahead and install it. It's free to use and won't harm your computer in any way. Now the second thing you guys are going to need is to change your left and right mouse keys to the buttons on the keyboard. I like to use 9 and 0. Some people prefer R and T. Now to do that you will need to go ahead and open your options, key bindings, skill use. Your left mouse button is your contextual skill slot 1, and then your right mouse button is the contextual skill slot 2. So go ahead and change those to RT or 9 and 0 like I did. Go ahead and press apply and press confirm. Now the third thing you guys are going to need to do is to make the file itself. Now to open a notepad file, we're going to go ahead and open up our Windows key, type in notepad, and the first thing that shows up, go ahead and open that. And the code I'm going to be using is for a destroyer. The code you might be using is a little different. I'll show you guys how to edit it yourselves. So what this does, I will be using a grave accent key because it's easy to use for me and it works great. It's going to be sending my left mouse button, which is 9. It's going to wait 350 milliseconds, and then it's going to press 0, which is my right mouse button, and then wait 215 milliseconds, and then it's going to return. So if you press and hold, it will just keep doing this in a loop, pressing your left and right mouse button, anti-canceling. Now we are going to go ahead and save this. Okay, now you want to locate where you want to save your macro. I'm going to save it in downloads. What you want to name it, it actually doesn't matter, but the extension has to be AHK or Autohotkey. So I'm going to go ahead and name mine destroyer.ahk and save it. Now if we go to our downloads folder, you can see it looks like a H. That is a macro file. We're going to go ahead and right click and run it as administrator. Now you have to run it as an administrator. If you just double click on it, it won't work with programs such as Blade Soul. But if you run it as admin, you can go ahead and you can see it's in your taskbar right here. It's running. So your Blade Soul is going to refresh. Give it a second to load up again. There it is. And then we are going to go ahead and hold the grave accent key and see it work. Now you can see how easy it is to anti-cancel. I wouldn't recommend you guys to use this in PvP just because it doesn't work as well. Now before you all leave, a lot of people have been asking me if it's possible to create a macro for backstepping, and it is possible. I'll show you guys how. You do the same thing. Go ahead and open Notepad. We're gonna go ahead and put the code in for backstepping. So every time you press the control key, we're gonna send S and then sleep for 100 milliseconds, which is a tenth of a second, and then press S again and return. So we're gonna save this as ss.ahk in our downloads folder, save it, And then when we go into our, we can go ahead and close this macro. We can see it right here. We're gonna run it as admin, just like that. Let the game reload for a second, and there we have it. So now we can go ahead and use our macro to anti-cancel, and then when we press our control key, it'll backstep. We never again have to use SS. A lot of people have been asking about this because it's very difficult to SS when you're a little laggy or in a boss fight, you know, PvPing in a critical situation. SS doesn't always work, but if you tap the control key, it'll be a lot easier, and it's a 100% chance guaranteed to work. Now if you guys want your own macros, I'll leave a link in the description for the names of each button on the keyboard. That'll help you guys out. Anyway, good luck guys, have a great day.